Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band or artist and we listen to all of the records and we rank them from worst to best. We also give our biggest banger from each of them and just kind of talk about them a little bit. So if you did not already know, we are doing Nirvana. So we're going to be ranking their 3 albums, Bleach, Nevermind, In Utero. We're also going to rank Incesticide, the compilation, and their Unplugged live album. Because why the fuck not? Because we can do whatever we want. We're Asinine Radio. So while you're listening, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify especially, give us 5 stars. And 5 stars only, go do it right now while you're listening. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. We also have a link tree on in our bios. If you want to, find us that way, go do that. We have a Discord server. Join that, hang out, talk shit like everyone else does. And we have a phone number you can call. You can leave us a voicemail, send us a text. The phone number is 503-893-5307. So get into that. And now that the boring intro is out of the way, let's get into to our album rankings. Nirvana. Unless you have normally we do our 6 degrees of Tom DeLonge, but I did not do it this week.
I didn't do it either.
Did you do it?
No.
Okay, so let's move on then. So then let's jump right into our album rankings with Nirvana. So like I said, we're doing 5 records. What is the worst Nirvana record out of all this?
They don't have a worst record. It's just like, what is the least great, I guess.
Yeah.
At this point,
what is my least favorite right now?
What's my least favorite right now? And these change. these let me tell you one thing, brother. These have changed quite a bit since last time. I will say that. Except for this one.
Look at my rankings from last time.
Except for this one. Uh-huh. This one's always going to stay here because it's not a record. But that's right. Incesticide. It's even too hard to say.
Low,
so.
Wow.
Of course it's low. What are you talking about? That's stupid. Of course it's low. This is an easy 5. Easy 5. It's a comp. Material, Sub Pop sold to Geffen, and Kurt agreed to release the stuffs because the songs were like circulating anyway, so they wanted to release a better version of everything. And there's unreleased stuff here, and like, I don't know, old takes of songs and alt takes of songs, and it's fine. It's a solid comp of stuffs overall, and I will buy this on the vinyls if I see it used. It's an easy pickup.
It's expensive.
I don't know if I'd buy it new, but I would pick it up used. I'll pick up pretty much anything I love used. Absolutely, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
All right.
And I don't know. There's 4 different drummers in this thing, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
And
well, I mean, it's a comp. Yeah, what do you expect?
But like, people forget that Nirvana had 4 different drummers that recorded, and even with no promotion, though, this thing still sold 500,000 copies in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
It's crazy. That's how popular Nevermind was.
What? I mean, we'll get more into it later, but that's what blew my mind the most was how much and how fast they were selling copies of Nevermind.
I know. It's fucking nuts.
Like
fucking
they
insane.
couldn't keep it in stock.
All right, so what's your banger off of Incesticide?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have one, honestly.
Oh, that's fun.
Well,
that's fun.
I don't know.
Okay, so then let's move on. Let's move on. So my number 5 is Unplugged. This came out after they did In Utero, so it has what?
It's so dumb. What? You're already so stupid with your rankings.
Well, no, I'm very smart.
That's so dumb.
So yeah, Unplugged is my number 5. Like I said, this has tracks from all their records, and quite a few covers as well. They had guests on it from the guys from Mudhoney or Meat Puppets were on here. It's just a great, solid performance. You could tell Kurt is nervous and he fucks up, and he just admits it, just straight up tells the audience, yeah, I messed that one up, or should I do it this way? It might sound bad. If it sounds bad, deal with it. So I just loved how kind of carefree this entire record is, and just to hear these songs this way is super fucking rad. And I know you're going to talk shit because it's not fully unplugged, because because they have pickups and the acoustic guitars, this and that. So I know
Well,
what you're
Kirk's
gonna say.
plugged in, so it's not even on fucking acoustic.
So this is fun. So yeah, Unplugged is my number 5, and I will say I have all of these records on vinyl, so I love Nirvana. So my biggest banger right now off of this live record is Lake of Fire. I love the way Kurt, just his vocals on this one. They're borderline bad, but I love him for it. It's amazing. So yeah, Lake of Fire is my banger off of Unplugged. So what do you got for number 4?
You ready for this one?
I'm kind of ready.
In Utes, baby. In
No
utero.
way.
Yeah, I know.
No way.
I know.
All you've done since we did In Utero is talk shit on Nevermind.
I know.
Wow. Okay. All right.
What I think
stupid.
When we do, I mean, the only thing stupid here for sure is not having Incesticide as number 5. That's the only stupid thing for sure. Because that's dumb. That's dumb to think a comp is better than, like, arguably one of the greatest live performances of all time. Stupid. But that's okay. Well, I digress with the stupidity there.
You think you think Unplugged is one of the greatest live performances of all time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. That's wild.
Nirvana's just a band that, like, they've been around for so long, and just especially us growing up, they've just been ingrained in it, whatever. But, like, I never got into them until, like, In Utero, when we did that one. And that, like, really blew my mind. It fucking blew my mind. I could not believe that they can go from Nevermind to this. And going back on In Utero, it's kind of cheesy. It's cheesy because they're backpedaling here by hiring Albini. And everything I've read, I mean, there's always two sides to a story, and obviously Kurt can't tell his side fully. But everything that I read, Butch and Andy, everybody said that fucking Kurt loved the final product of Nevermind. And so if you take that at face value, and even like Chris and Dave had said, like, yeah, dude, Kirk was okay with this part that everybody thinks that it shouldn't have been like this. And there's a lot of things he was excited about. So if you take that at face value, and then In Utero comes out, or they start to do In Utero, I'm trying to get back to the raw sound. That's cheesy, man. That's like you're just backpedaling here because you lost street cred, and now you don't want to seem like sellouts. So whatever.
Is this one of your spicy takes that you were telling me about earlier?
Yeah. And it's not that spicy, to be honest, because that's pretty much fact. That's what everybody thinks. A lot of people think that, and that's like, come on, clearly that's what's fucking happening here. They're trying to regain some street cred after selling out.
They are.
Nevermind.
They are.
With that said, this album is raw and unpolished in a way that was also just kind of unnecessary. Like, Steve is fucking great and captured the sound better than all of their albums. But okay, so he's good at just putting mics into a room and letting you do you. A little lazy, but whatever. He's
also
great at what he
the
does.
Performance. Producers are there for a reason.
But like the reason they chose Steve is because they want to get the sound from their live performance. They want to get the sound of their Bleach era Nirvana. And so Steve just put a bunch of mics in the kitchen and let Dave play drums. Great. I love it. This album's amazing. My only issue now is that the raw sound seems forced. It's forced and unnatural, especially since they've just naturally become better musicians. Listening to a lot of demos and the rarities and all the live shit that I listened to this week, this band grew to be really tight in their later concert days. And it just happens naturally when you play in a band. That's just what happens when you play with people. You become tighter. You know everybody's faults and you know everybody's strengths. So you become tighter. So to have somebody come in and try and capture the essence of Bleach on In Utero, like what they're really asking here is just to put a mic in the studio again and to record directly like that. And that's fine. But this isn't a virgin raw sound from Nirvana anymore. They grew up and phased out. They cannot recapture the Bleach days because they're not Bleach anymore. They're done.
You're right.
Nevermind has already happened. They are better musicians. They are better songwriters. They are better at playing together. So they cannot capture that raw sound because that raw sound does not exist anymore. It's gone. So I don't know. I still love this album a lot, and it's just, man, it was hard. It was hard to put this. It was hard to put this so low. I felt really, really bad. I had to listen to it multiple times, and it was just. It's just because of those things, those little minor things that had to fall somewhere. That In Utero kind of seems fake to me.
Wow.
Oh, I know. So nasty.
That's tough, man. I mean,
it's so sacrilegious. I love Steve Albini so fucking much. And ever since we did In Utero, dude, I've just been like, I adore him.
We praised that record so much when we did it on the pod.
I mean, I'm not even gonna fuck around here. everything from here on out's a perfect 3. These are all perfect albums. That's
Oh my god.
obviously
dude.
there's no hiding that. It's silly to think that Nevermind's not going to be a perfect album. That's dumb.
Well, I don't know about that,
We're
dude.
pretending. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's pretend. We're
All right.
pretending.
My number 4 is Bleach. Bleach is my number 4, their first record. This one, obviously, it just has that raw kind of punk sound. They've always talked about how, or they have talked about how they were inspired by, bands like Melvins because that super fuzzy kind of tone that Buzz has. And you hear a ton of that on Bleach. I mean, and this album does not stop. I mean, there's no lull on any part of this record. It drives the whole fucking time, and it's really cool too because this album cost $606, I think it was.
Yeah.
Something like that, and they recorded it, I think, within a couple days or maybe a week or something like that. Super quick, and it's remarkable just how fucking amazing this record is, and just the heaviness mixed with the melodies. Kurt could write. He was so great at writing pop songs. He was fucking awesome, and he was great at bringing out the raw fucking energy and the tones. And dude, Kurt was something else. He was so unique, so fucking unique. His music is amazing, and every Nirvana record sounds so different from the other. And I just love how kind of just wild Bleach is. Just 3 guys. Well, yeah, because Evermore wasn't. He was in the band, but he didn't play on the record. So
I think he was the
really,
one that fronted the $600 too.
He did.
And that's why they put him on the jack because they felt bad and he didn't even play the album.
Jason Evermore was in the band, but yeah, no, he funded the record, but he didn't play on it. So yeah, they just put him on the cover, and I don't think they didn't credit him. I don't.
In the early days, they credited him, but I think on later pressings of vinyl and CD stuff, they took him off eventually.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if he only funded it, he didn't play on it, why would you credit him as a songwriter?
Well, they better give him his fucking $600 back. I'll tell you that much right now. I don't hear anything about it.
It's true. But yeah, Bleach, honestly, man, any of these records, all these records are so interchangeable, just depending on my mood. Right now, my favorite song off of this is Negative Creep. It was a toss-up between Negative Creep and School. I fucking love both of those songs. And same with Mr. Mustache. That's another one. That's a sleeper right there. That one is... that's a forgotten track, Mr. Mustache, and that one hits fucking hard. But Negative Creep was my biggest one. It's a great fucking punk song, and he just like screams and wails. It's a wild fucking song. So yeah, Bleach is my number 4 right now. So what do you got for number 3?
I will say too, like these changed a lot this week because of just this is where I'm at right now. This is what I'm liking. I'm enjoying at the moment. I don't know. We're coming off the Sabbath week, so my number 3 is Bleach, and
okay,
this is high. I think last time this was 4. I think last time I had Incesticide, Bleach, Nevermind, Unplugged, and In Utero.
I think that's what you did.
So Bleach, solid album, dude. These kids like who grew up on classic rock, then metal, then punk, like transitioned to this hodgepodge of all these sounds. This album is purposefully sloppy and disjointed at times. Negative Creep is a good example of that. The song, like at first, you listen to the song one time, like, dude, that was fucking a mess, man. But then it's like, no, that it's not actually. They're playing pretty damn tight. They are a bunch of kids that are really tight with each other and know how to like bounce off how to riff off each other. And that song is really tight. And even when you hear them play it live, it's still pretty damn tight for being such an insane song.
Yeah, it really is. Just all the feedback on Kurt's guitar on that song too, and just it's just nothing about this song is perfect, and I love it for it.
And these songs go from like fast punk metal to like psychedelic rock covers. Even like Scoff has a little surf rock tinge to it. There's a lot of different things going on in this album that I had never picked up on until this week, to be honest. Until actually I heard it last week when we were first in the grunge season, and then diving deeper into this one, because as of now, I guess this is the only official Nirvana that we haven't dove into. But
that's true, yeah.
Man, this is an amazing debut record. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. About a Girl is my favorite Nirvana song. That's just I love that song so much. It's just a perfect sneak peek at what Nevermind is going to sound like, because it's an amazing melody with power chords. It's endearing but still kind of angry, a little angsty. And then I read this week, which I never knew, or unless I forgot, but unless we talked about it. But I read that the girl who the song was about, like an early girlfriend of Cobain, didn't even know this was about her until like many years after he died.
Really? I didn't know that.
And like that's gotta hit pretty fucking hard, right? You're like one of Cobain's first girlfriends, and all of a sudden, like it comes out, oh yeah, that song's about you. She found out like 15 years after he died. Yeah, that's crazy.
Shit.
And while not as great as like Grohl in the songwriting category, dude, Chad has a lot of really, really rad drum parts on this album. Like everything he did on this album complemented the sound and never took away from it. He was the perfect drummer for this era of the band. He keep up, but did not outshine. And also to bring up Mr. Mustache, dude, that metal type riff, dude, that's like
I was gonna say, yeah.
That's fucking Sugar Ray right there. That's Mean Machine. That sounds like Mean Machine. Like Sugar Ray took a page out of that book.
Okay, I guess so. Yeah.
What if we can get our boy Murphy on this? Shed some light on this.
Oh yeah, that
hot take here.
We could always reach out to him. I mean, he follows us on Instagram. We should ask him about it.
We're best
See
friends.
if there's any correlation between the two songs.
Because dude, they're very, very similar. And yeah, it's just like a chuggy kind of open E riff there, but
it's kind of like a winky metal riff, though. It really is.
It's very similar. Bleach was a surprise to me. I thought Bleach was going to be like a throwaway. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm pass on it. But listen, besides the album of the week, Bleach I listened to the most, second most.
Yeah, it's just like when you throw it on, you're thinking, okay, it doesn't have the polish of Nevermind, it doesn't have the craziness of In Utero, but when you throw it on, at least for me, I mean, I've listened to Bleach hundreds and hundreds of times, but every time when I listen, I'm excited again. I forget like kind of just how much energy. There's so much goddamn fucking energy on this record. That is not, and it's not the same on Nevermind and In Utero. It's the amount of energy and just how intense all these songs are, and also with Chad Channing on drums, there are moments where it kind of sounds like he's about to fall apart. Like he's not a perfect, precise drummer. I wouldn't say Dave Grohl is that, but he's more so that than Chad Channing, and he holds it better. He holds it together better than Chad ever did.
Right.
So there are moments on Bleach where it does sound like it's just gonna crumble, but
yeah,
pulls it together. And yeah, dude, Bleach is something else.
It's just, I mean, like you said, like these obviously these have changed, and I fell in love with In Utero after we did it, and it blew my mind in a way that not a lot of records really blow our minds because we do a lot of things that we love anyway.
Yeah. But
like The Descendants is one of those things. Like In Utero is one of those things that really blew my mind. And I think I've been in this weird like metal phase, Sabbath, and like I'm in love with UFO right now. So just like a lot of that heavier, more aggressive guitar stuff I like. But Bleach is weird because it's kind of like you can still hear like the pop in them. You can still hear like the pop in them there.
All right. So what was your biggest finger? Was it Scoff? What'd you say it was?
Oh, no, About a Girl.
Oh, About it. Oh, duh. Yeah, that's your favorite Nirvana song. Duh.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 3 is Nevermind, the album of the week. So it's kind of low, but that's fine.
God, it's so annoying.
So what do you got for your number 2?
Why do you think that Incesticide is better than fucking Nevermind? That's dumb. You're being dumb right now.
I don't make the rules. So what do you got for number 2?
I don't even know. Who even cares? Honestly, who cares? Who cares? It's unplugged in New York.
New York.
Yeah. I didn't want to talk about this anymore, to be honest. It's so stupid. It's so stupid that you've Incesticide so high. It's dumb.
I can't believe you put Nevermind as your number 1. Oh my God, you're out of your mind.
Why? Because I don't pretend things are great because they're popular, like other people. I'm not mentioning names.
Nevermind's my number 3.
I'm not even talking about you.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
I never even said you.
I've known you for fucking over 20 years. I know what you're doing.
This is a super dope show because this shows the direction Nirvana were heading in, right? Huge speculation about what the next Nirvana album would have sounded like. And it's pretty damn clear that they were going to like essentially reinvent this folk scene. That's where they were going. That's what Unplugged is. Unplugged is a fucking fantastic folk album with the Nirvana tinge to it. These songs are honest. They're uncut. They're like nude. They're just bare bones. And you hear Kurt trying to sing and add things to his voice that he just can't do. But he does it anyway. Because fuck it. Who cares? That's what I want to do. That's how I'm going to do it. And yeah, Lake of Fire shows off his chops at doing this country style thing that just sounds like shit, man. But God, man, if he's behind it, I'm behind it because
what I also love about Lake of Fire is that it is it's Lake of Fire, where he's doesn't have the confidence in his own voice to where he's like, I can't play guitar, let me just sing it. And it's the only time during that performance where he just sings and has other people play guitar. Has Pat and then one of the guys from the Meat Puppets, I think it is, play guitar for him because he just wanted to solely focus on his vocals.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I just love the passion, just how it, dude. The album is so intense, man. Fuck, I love Unplugged.
It's not unplugged. It's not unplugged because Kurt demanded that his guitar be plugged in. He was plugged into a monitor at least, but he also ran through a bunch of pedals. So it's not
he had a pickup on his guitar as well. Like Pat, I don't think Pat had a pickup on his.
Kurt was Kurt was plugged into pedals.
He was. Yeah, no, he was.
That's not unplugged.
Yeah, he was.
Unplugged is you're not plugged. So when you are plugged, that's not unplugged. But whatever. But also the performance itself, right? MTV Unplugged. All these bands that are used to doing 3-4 different takes and choosing the best ones and camera tricks, and I was like, no, fuck that. We're gonna do one thing. That's it. We're done. Call it a day. And like the way it was set up, the stage, right? It was like a fucking funeral, like they said, like all these weird candles and everything. It's like, why do you want to look so sad? He's like, I don't fucking know. It looks cool. Who gives a shit?
And they wanted certain flowers to be on stage.
They wanted a chandelier.
Yeah, and so and the flowers that they chose were I think they are funeral flowers. They're meant to be placed, at not a morgue, but a mortuary, and everything like that. So that was all intentional. And the red, the red velvet looking kind of everything, it had that red tinge to everything. And oh man, dude, that performance is unreal.
It is unreal, and it's so good. And after listening to a lot of Nirvana this week, they do blues songs really, really well because they capture the essence of what, these older Delta blues guys were doing. It was just very emotional, and Kurt was very emotional. And so they do blues songs very, very well. And so when you hear them do or close out the show and he's just screaming, and I don't know, it's the best. Like the Where Did You Sleep Last Night? Like the way that ends it's done. That's it.
It's the way he wails. The way he wails, man. Oh my God. It makes the hair on my neck stand up, the back of my neck stand up.
And really, he's just not a great singer.
No.
And he's just not. And that's what makes it so amazing is he's just a musician's musician. This is a guy that just, fuck it. This is how I want to do it. I don't care if it sounds like shit. To me, it sounds great. And I'm playing this for me anyway. So fuck you. And then he just does it. And it sounds like shit. And we eat it up. And then I heard they wanted to do an encore. They wanted Nirvana to do an encore, and Kurt's like, "No, that was the best thing I ever fucking did. I can't do it anymore. We're done."
And then he dies 3 months later.
That's not funny though. I don't know why I laughed.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah. Funny the way you said
it. And then how people have said, that it was this whole concert was like a foreshadowing of his death, because with the flowers, the candles, all that kind of stuff, and it's like, come on, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, as they say, right? So when something happens, you can look back and say, oh, these are things leading up to that. It's like you're missing all of the 99 other % of things that did not lead up to this. So you're just cherry picking here. So no, I don't see any of this foreshadowing whatsoever, even in the I don't have a gun part. And then
that's the dumbest one. Well, it's not the dumbest one, but that's just a dumb thing. But okay, so that's your number 2, and your favorite your banger was what?
I like Lake of Fire. I do.
Oh,
I like Lake of Fire
okay.
Because he sounds like complete shit. He does not sound that good. He's doing this country thing, like I said, with his vocals, and it's just not working, dude. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't fuck. I'll eat it up. I'll buy it.
the part when he sings, oh my God, what does he fucking say?
4th of July.
Yeah, the 4th of July. Oh my God, I had the line in my mind, and then I wasn't able to say it. Yeah. Oh man, where do bad folks go when they die? It's just when he tries to hit those high notes, it does not work.
I know.
I love it.
I know. And who cares, right? Like, God, man, like, why can't more musicians take chances? Why can't more musicians do something that makes them feel uncomfortable on stage in front of people? He already feels uncomfortable just playing in front of people because he just has that kind of like anxiety, especially in this era of the band. Yeah. But like, why can't more musicians be adventurous on stage and try new things and do things that make them look stupid?
I agree. Man. I agree, man. He was one of the most unique frontmen of all time.
And to think that like Nirvana did anything to make themselves look stupid is crazy to begin with anyway, right? Like Nirvana did something to make them look stupid? No way. They were so serious. It's like, no, they were not. Most of the time they were serious, but they had a lot of really, really goofy moments.
Yeah, I mean, both on stage and interviews, like Kurt was always trolling people. You know, he would always do things. There's the performance where they wanted, I think it was it SNL? They wanted them to play Lithium, and they said, do not play Rate Me. So he started playing Rate Me, and then he transitions into it. But just like things like that, he would do things just to like make people really nervous and just to fuck around with people, and I loved it. Kurt was great. So my number 2 is In Utero. Right now, my number 2 is In Utero. And what was that? Does this upset you?
Because I thought we were doing real rankings, but like now I realize you thought we were doing joke rankings, so I can redo my rankings real quick if you want, and then we'll do joke rankings after your number 1.
But yeah, In Utero. I mean, we already touched upon this quite a bit, actually. You know, on this episode as well as breaking down this record extensively a couple years or like a year ago. But I mean, just Steve Albini's. The way he created this record to get those sounds and everything like that, it's remarkable. And then reading about how quickly they recorded this. They recorded this record in 2 weeks. 2 fucking weeks. They recorded, it took 2 months to record Nevermind and a lot more money. I think it cost a lot more money to create Nevermind than it did In Utero. I could be wrong on that. But time period wise, this In Utero is such a unique record in how nothing is super I wouldn't say loud. There's nothing super heavy on this record. There's a lot of just weird sounds, weird kind of unconventional playing by everybody, not just Kurt, but even by Dave Grohl. Just some really interesting parts, and man, dude, everything, it's just a wild record. In Utero is nothing sounds like this record. Nothing at all. It's I mean,
nothing sounds like any of their records.
Well, true. But In Utero is the one record that stands out from everything they've ever done. Like sonically, sound wise. I think it's their most. Mind.
Bleach. I could hear that because that's whatever. Soundgarden kind of doing the Bleach sound pretty well.
Exactly. But Utero has something else.
That's silly boy talk. So does Nevermind.
But Nevermind has that polished tone. The songs,
just production-wise, I guess Nevermind is like other things. But I mean, bands have been doing raw albums and live cuts.
Well, I know, but
far before.
But up until
Albini was doing it.
But up until In Utero, nothing sounded like In Utero. Even since then, what record sounds like this? Sounds like it. Nothing does.
I mean, Surfer Rosa sounds like In Utero.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It's raw.
I just listened to it last week. You didn't listen to it. I listened to it.
Okay, well
so I'm right.
Wrong, but okay.
Surfer Rosa is fucking great, but In Utero it's way crunchier. It's way more experimental than Surfer Rosa is.
That's no. You clearly didn't. Maybe you may listen to Doolittle.
I did listen
to
it.
Surfer Rosa,
and I loved it. I love Surfer Rosa. I can't believe it's taken me this long to get into that record.
It's
fantastic. It's crazy. It's crazy good.
In Utero is nothing. It's not reinventing the wheel, especially not the way Nevermind did. So that's a fact.
Nevermind only did because of the time and play of the time. That's the only reason why.
Okay, that's everything. Time and place is everything. That's like the people that say, well, if Albert Einstein didn't do this, somebody else would have. Okay, well they didn't. He did. Like, come on, that means nothing.
All right. Well, my banger right now, my biggest banger off of In Utero is Radio Friendly Unit Shifter. That guitar riff really, really did something to me this week. That it's that not choppiness, kind of like the little chiggas in there. It's a really cool riff. It's a fucking solid riff. And then all the weird like feedback that he does during other parts of the song. And dude, and it's not even really a melody. It's like, what is wrong with me? It's like he's just talking. He's not even really singing. He's just talking, and it's so lazy and heavy at the same time. I fucking love that song. So that's my biggest banger right now, off of In Utero.
Okay.
So your number one is Nevermind, obviously. So we'll move on from that. So my number one, as of today, is Incesticide, the compilation record, and that upsets you, I know.
Because
I do have this on vinyl.
It's just wrong because it's just wrong.
It's a great fucking record. I know it's a comp. I get it. I know it.
Even as a comp, these songs are not as good as a whole as Nevermind. These songs as a whole are not as good as Unplugged. They're not as good as In Utero. They're not as good as Bleach.
I think what I liked so much about this record this week, and what I've always liked, is how simple and just pop driven this is. This compilation is the most pop driven thing that they've ever released.
What are you
more so than
talking
Nevermind?
about?
More so than Nevermind.
About?
Outside of like
you were absolutely
Aero Zeppelin
wrong
and Mexican,
so many
Mexican
ways.
seafood.
To say this is more pop driven than Nevermind is just
a lot of them are.
bonkers.
Look at the song Sliver,
Bonkers.
and then the turnaround cover from was it Devo, I think. Son of a Gun is another like pop hit as well. The full band version of Polly, which is fucking super rad. That's a straight up pop song.
That's less pop than the one on Nevermind, though.
No, that's not true. That's stupid. That's silly.
What are you talking about? It's a stripped down version that's just basic. That's just structured around the melody only. Is less pop than the one where full band comes in and rocks harder. I don't understand that logic.
It is less pop. It's not a pop driven song.
On
Because the Polly
Incesticide is
Nevermind.
on Incesticide is less pop than the version on Nevermind.
That's not true.
Nevermind is focusing solely on the melody.
We'll get into that when we get into Nevermind. Then clearly, we're going to get into that.
You've literally never been more wrong than right now. Honestly,
right
I say
now,
that.
like
I say that
said,
a lot. I say that a lot because you're wrong so fucking much. But ranking Incesticide as your number one, better than all of the Nirvana records, is both wrong and just kind of like kind of disgraceful to the ranking system. To be honest, it's a little disrespectful. It kind of bothers me. It does on a deep core here.
Like I said, all five of these albums are interchangeable, and it's totally based off of my mood. And I had the most fun. Most fun listening to Incesticide. It's such a fucking good. What?
Your mood must have been stupid this week then. Stupid rankings.
But yeah, no, Incesticide. It's a great comp. I recommend anybody who's never heard it, go check it out. There's some true absolute bangers. Well, all their songs are pretty much bangers, if not beyond bangers. One of my favorite Nirvana, actually my second favorite Nirvana song, is from Incesticide, and it is Sliver. Sliver is a simple, straightforward kind of rock punk song, and it's fucking catchy. It's stupid. It's repetitive, and I just love it for that. I love that. I love the simplicity of it. So yeah, Sliver, and they actually made a music video for this song, which I thought was interesting back in the day. But yeah, Sliver is my banger, and Incesticide is my favorite Nirvana record as of right now.
Okay.
I don't make the rules, man. I don't make the rules. So
you just break them and don't follow them. Yes, gotcha.
Okay, that's stupid and wrong. But all right, is that all we have on the rankings?
No, that is it.
Okay, so that is it. Okay.
That's it. That's all.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. 5 stars only. Tell all your friends because we are the best podcast ever. And stay tuned because we are getting into Nevermind by Nirvana. And that's it. That's all. Because there was a...